Welcome everyone on this third session of the book club by Wings Publication. Am I audible, guys?
Loud and clear.
Awesome. Everybody else, those who can come on camera, I would love to see them. It would be more of an interactive session. And today we are going to talk about the book You Can Heal Your Life by Louis Hay. We are going to talk about three chapters: Chapter 7, How to Change; Chapter 8, Building the New; and Chapter 9, Daily Work. So, before I start, do I have your permission to introduce myself? Can I see some activity in the chat box? Yes, no. All right. I can see one yes. Thank you. So, hi everyone. I'm Prakash Narkhede, and I am a creative consultant working on graphic and branding projects for multiple clients. I'm also a book coach and a course creator. I have almost a decade of years experience in field of design, and I'm really grateful and thankful for having this opportunity to talk on this wonderful book. And without wasting any further time, we can just start on this. So, how to change? Guys, how to is always an interesting topic because it resonates well with the practical people. Because if you don't know how to, then all the theory in the world becomes useless. So in this chapter, we are going to talk about three things. Mainly, number one, nurturing the willingness to let go. Second is controlling the mind, and third, learning how to forgive self and others and release us. So, releasing the need. Sometimes, when we try to release a pattern, the whole situation seems to get worse for a while. What I mean by that is, for example, you decide that you will be healthy from today, and next day you catch a cold. Maybe you decide that you will start saving and investing from tomorrow, and your wallet will get lost. Uh, Maybe you will decide that you will work on improving the relationships, and the next day you will have quarrel with your wife or your kids or your parents. So, what Louis says that this is not a bad thing at all. It is a sign that the situation is beginning to move. So, our affirmations are working and we need to keep going in this case. So, she also gives an examples of a person, say, for example, someone who wants to quit smoking, right? And let's assume that he says that I am willing to release the need for cigarettes. And as he continues to do that, he will notice his relationships are becoming uncomfortable. Now, he would notice that cigarettes is only a symptom and not the cause. Imagine during his childhood, he was criticized every now and then by his relatives, by his parents. And what cigarettes has done is it has created a smoke screen, and he has surrounded people with people who continuously criticize him, and this makes him feel at home, and hence he is continuing that kind of an habit. So now the next step would be saying that in an affirmative way is I am willing to forgive. So as you continue these affirmations, you will find that cigarette is no longer attracting that person, and the people in his life no longer criticize him, and that's how you know that you have released your need. So this is not an easy task. This usually takes a while to work out. But if you are gently persistent and are willing to give yourself quite few moments each day to reflect on your process of change, you will get the answers. The intelligence within you is the same as the intelligence that created this entire planet. So trust your inner guidance to reveal to you whatever it is that you need to know. The releasing the need is an exercise which can be carried out in two ways. Either you can do it alone or you can do it with your partner. Say, for example, if you are doing with your partner, then you need to say this sentence to him until he is completely convinced. What is that sentence? Louis says that I they say it loud. I now realize that I have created this condition, and I am now willing to release the pattern in my conscious that is responsible for this situation. Say it several times with feeling and mind that your partner is convinced about it. And if you are alone, then look into the mirror, look into the eye of your reflection and repeat it. Repeat it 100 and 1,000 times if required until it comes from within, and then you will definitely see the change happening. So one of the great things is that we do not have to know how to do this change. All we need is to be willing. The universal intelligence or your subconscious mind will figure out the hows. Every thought you think and every word you speak is being responded to. And the point of power is in the moment. The thoughts you are thinking and the words you are declaring at this moment are creating your future. So the mind plays an important role here. You may think that mind is everything, it is controlling your life. But remember that you are much more than your mind. You may think mind is running the show, but that is only because you have trained your mind to think this way. So if you have been to Rajasthan, you might have seen that puppet show, right? So here, if you think that the puppets are you and the hand which is controlling the puppets is your mind, then let me tell you it's exactly the opposite. It's you who can control the mind. So what you have to do is quiet the chatter of your mind for a moment and really think about this concept. The concept is your mind is a tool you can choose to use any way you wish. Right, Supriya. This is chapter number 7, how to change. So, the thoughts you choose to think create the experiences you have. If you believe that it is hard or difficult to change a habit or a thought, then your choice of this thought will make it true. But on the other hand, if you choose to think that it is becoming easier for me to make changes in my life, then your choice of this thought will make it true to you. So, when it comes to mind, controlling the mind is the game. There is an incredible power and intelligence within you constantly responding to your thoughts and words. So, as you learn to control your mind by the conscious choice of thoughts, you align yourself with this power. Do not think that the mind is in control. You are in the control of your mind. So, you use your mind. You can stop thinking those old thoughts. When your old thinking tries to come back and say, it's so hard to change, take the mental control. Say to your mind, I now choose to believe it is becoming easier for me to make changes. You may have to have this conversation with your mind several times for it to acknowledge that you are in control and that what you say goes. So don't give up. It's not by doing it once you will control your mind always. You will have to do it again and again. Repeat this, it will become an habit. One such incident is I remember when I was resisting to change was back after completing my graduation. I was so used to staying in Bombay that I decided not to go out of Bombay for masters. But somehow uh, I got admission out of Bombay in another state, and it was very challenging for me initially to accept the change and shift to another city, stay in hostel life. And I think if I would have read this chapter or this book, then the journey would have been much easy for me back then. But yes, it's only later you realize that the change is not challenging at all. It's what you tell your mind that how your life is controlled. So, what the only thing you ever have any control of is what? It's your current thought. Your old thoughts are already gone. There is nothing you can do about it except live out the experiences they caused. Your current thought, the one you are thinking right now, is totally under your control. So another example, say for example, there is a child, you have a child and you have been allowing him or her to sleep at whatever time he or she wants. and suddenly one fine day you decide that the child should sleep at 8 p.m. every night because that's the best for him. So what do you think will happen? Of course, the child will rebel and protest, and he will be reluctant to get in sleep at 8 because he's not used to it. But this is the time when you have to be firm and assertive, and in 2 or 3 nights you will see the new routine will be established. And it is the same thing with the mind. It will rebel at first, it does not want to be retrained, but you are in control, and if you stay focused and firm, in a very short time the new way of thinking will be established. And you will feel so good to realize that, listen this carefully, that you are not a helpless victim of your own thoughts, but rather a master of your own mind. So there is an exercise again of letting go. So as you read this, I want you to take a deep breath. And as you listen to this chapter, you don't have to be very tense or very tight. Just relax, take a deep breath, and do that now. Let your back and your abdomen, your pelvis relax. Let your breathing be at peace as you relax your legs and feet. Is there a big change in your body since you began to listen to this? Then notice how much you hold on. If you are doing it with your body, you are doing it with your mind. In this relaxed, comfortable position, say to yourself, I am willing to let go. I release, I let go. So, if possible, just repeat after me. I will just say these lines slowly. I release all tension. Can you guys just maybe unmute for just 1 minute and repeat? I release all tension.
I
I
release all
release all
tension.
tension.
I
I
release
release all tensions.
I release all fear.
I
I
release
release all
all
fear.
fears.
I release all anger.
I
I
release
release
all
all
anger.
anger.
I release all guilt.
I
I
release
release all
all
guilt.
guilt.
I release all sadness.
I
I
release
release
all
all
sadness.
sadness.
I let go of all old limitations.
I
I let go all
of all
limitations.
old limitations.
Limitations.
I let go and I am at peace.
I let go and I am at
I'm
peace.
at peace.
I am at peace with myself.
I am at peace with myself.
I am at peace with the process of life.
I am at peace with the process of life.
Lastly, I am safe.
I am safe.
Perfect. Thank you. So, go through this exercise over 2 or 3 times every day. Feel the ease of letting go. Repeat it whenever you feel thoughts of difficulty coming up. It takes a little practice for the routine to become a part of you. When you put yourself into this peaceful state first, it becomes easy for affirmations to take hold. Okay? You become open and receptive to them. There is no need to struggle or stress or strain. Just relax how you did right now and think the right thoughts. It is that easy. Sometimes we also have to undergo physical releasing. We have been talking about the mind, but what is physical releasing? So basically, you have to put your body into action. Screaming in the car with all the windows rolled up can be very releasing if we have been stifling over our verbal expression. Beating the bed or kicking pillows is a harmless way to release pent up anger as is playing tennis or running. So trust me, I have tried this myself. I never thought I would do this, but I took a pile of pillows and just punched it. I was not knowing what was the reason of the anger in me, but I felt this has to come out. And after this exercise, I not only felt good, but I also found out that what was frustrating me. So do it. This is called physical releasing. Uh, Louis says after about 12 hits, she also realized exactly what she was angry about. And she felt much better the next day. Her shoulder was also fine and relaxed, which was paining earlier. So what we also do is we hold on to the past. Now many people used to come to meet Louis and share their experiences. So this is what few people said. Because I did not get invited to the high school prom, I cannot enjoy my life today. Because I did poorly at my first audition, I will be terrified of auditions forever in my life. Because I am no longer married, I cannot live a full life today. Because I was hurt by a remark once, I will never trust anyone again. Because I stole something once, I must punish myself forever. Because I was poor as a child, I will never get anywhere. So, what we often refuse to realize is that holding on to the past, no matter what it was or how awful it was, is only hurting us. They really don't care. Usually, they are not even aware. We are only hurting ourselves by refusing to live in this present moment to the fullest. So remember, guys, Louise was someone who was raped at the age of 5, and she, if she can come out with from this past experience and decide to live in the moment, I think everyone can. So the past is over and done and cannot be changed. This is the only moment we can experience. Even when we lament about the past, we are experiencing our memory of it in this moment and losing the real experience of this moment in the process. So there is also an exercise of releasing the past. So if you think back to what you should used to wear in the third grade, for example. So this is a nice metaphorical example that she says that say when you were in school days in third or fourth grade, whatever clothes you were wearing that time, are you attached to that today? No, right? So all your past experiences are same thing. You no longer need to be attached to that. So just let go. As we let go, we become free to use all our mental power to enjoy this moment and to create a great future. So take a pen and list all the things you are willing to let go. How willing are you to do this? Notice your reactions. What will you have to do to let these things go? How willing are you to do so? What is your resistance level? These all questions you should ask and observe yourself while doing these exercises. Forgiveness is the next step of this. Forgiveness of ourselves and of others releases us from the past. The Course in Miracles says over and over that forgiveness is the answer to almost everything. So I know that when we are stuck, it usually means that there is some more forgiving that has to be done. When we do not flow freely in life in the present moment, it usually means we are holding on to the past moment. It can be regret, sadness, hurt, fear, guilt, blame, anger, resentment, and sometimes even the desire for revenge. Each one of these state comes from the space of unforgiveness, a refusal to let go and come into the present moment. So, guys, just let go of the forgiveness. And for this, you can also do some quick exercises. One of the exercises is sit quietly with your eyes closed and say that the person I need to forgive is take his or her name, and I forgive you for dash whatever that is you experiencing with him. So do this over and over again. You will have many things to forgive. Some might have just one, some might have more. Um, uh, and then when you have cleared as much as you can for now, turn your attention to yourself. Say out loud to yourself, I forgive myself for dash. Do this for another 5 minutes or so. These are powerful exercises. Visualization is yet another exercise which which is which can help you to change. So begin to visualize yourself as a little child of 5 or 6. Look deeply into this little child eyes. See the longing that is there and realize that there is only one thing this child wants from you, and that is love. So reach out your arms and embrace this child. Hold it with love and tenderness. Tell it how much you love it, how much you care. Admire everything about this child and say that it's okay to make mistakes while learning. Promise that you will always be there no matter what. Now let this child get very small until it is just the size to fit into your heart. Put it there so whenever you look down, you can see this little face looking up at you and you can give it a lot of love. So I'm just quickly sharing this one page. I'm reading it as it is. In the infinity of life where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. Change is the natural law of my life. I welcome change. I am willing to change. I choose to change my thinking. I choose to change the words I use. I move from old to the new with ease and with joy. It is easier for me to forgive than I thought. Forgiving makes me feel free and light. It is with joy that I learn to love myself more and more. The more resentment I release, the more love I have to express. Changing my thoughts make me feel good. I am learning to choose to make today a pleasure to experience. All is well in my world. Now, what comes after changing? It's building the new thing. The answers within me comes to my awareness with ease. I don't want to be fat. I don't want to be broke. I don't want to be old. I don't want to live here. I don't want to have this relationship. I don't want to be like my mother or father. I don't want to be stuck in my job and so on. Remember, guys, that what you put your attention on grows. So, did saying what you don't want ever bring you what you really wanted? Fighting the negative is a total waste of time. If you really want to make change in your life, the more you dwell on what you don't want, the more of it you create. So the things about yourself or your life that you have always disliked are probably still with you if you have been saying this to yourself. So when we change these negative affirmations into positive affirmations, this is what it sounds like. I am slender. I am prosperous. I am eternally young. I now move to a better place. I have a wonderful new relationship. I am my own person. I love my hair, nose, body. I am filled with love and affection. I am joyous and happy and free. I am totally healthy. So learn to think in positive affirmations. Affirmations can be any statement you make. Too often we think in negative affirmations. So saying that I hate my job will get you nowhere. But declaring that I now accept a wonderful new job will open the channels in your conscious mind. So remember the present tense, use of present tense is very important here. Even if you say in future tense that, okay, I will have a good job in future, then that's how it will turn out to be. So say in present that I am having a good job. So next point is we talk about the process of loving the self. So loving the self is a magic wand that dissolves the problem. Remember the times when you have felt good about yourself and how well your life was going. Remember the times when you were in love and for those periods you seemed to have no problems. Well, loving yourself is going to bring such a surge of good feelings and good fortune to you that you will be dancing on air. Loving yourself makes you feel good. But you need to train your mind because there is a lot of self criticism that we think of. For example, you say, but I have always criticized myself. How can I possibly like that about myself? My parents teacher always criticize me. How will I be motivated? So for that, you have to go to back to the mirror exercise where you have to look into the mirror and say out loud positive affirmations. Lewis said that I was not aware that all good beings with accepting that which is within oneself and loving that self which is you. It took quite a while to develop a peaceful, loving relationship with myself. First, I used to hunt for the little things about myself that I thought were good qualities. Even this helped, and my own health began to improve. Good health begins with loving with the self. So do prosperity and love and creative self expression. Later, I learned to love and approve of all of me, even those qualities that I thought were not good enough. That was when I really began to make progress. Now put your awareness into this practice. Think of thoughts that make you happy. Do things that make you feel good. Be with people who make you feel good. Eat things that make your body feel good. Go at a pace that you feels good. So another example which the author talks about is of a tomato plant. A healthy plant can have over 100 tomatoes on it. In order to get this tomato plant with all these tomatoes on it, we need to start with a small dried seed. That seed doesn't look like a tomato plant, correct? It sure doesn't taste like a tomato plant. If you didn't know for sure, you would not even believe it could become a tomato plant. However, let's say you plant this seed in a fertile soil and you water it and let the sun shine on it. When the first little tiny shoot comes up, you don't stomp on it and say, that's not a tomato plant. Rather, you say, look at it and say, oh boy, here it comes. And you watch it grow with delight. In time, if you continue to water it and give it a lot of sunshine and pull away any weeds, you might have a tomato plant with more than 100 luscious tomatoes. And it all began with a tiny seed. It's the same with creating a new experience for yourself. The soil you plant is in your subconscious mind. The seed is the new affirmation. The whole new experience is this tiny seed. You water it with affirmations. You let the sunshine of positive thoughts beam on it. You weed the garden by pulling out negative thoughts that come up. And when you first see the tiniest little evidence, you don't stomp on it and say that's not enough. Instead, you look at this first breakthrough and exclaim with glee, oh boy, here it comes. It's working. Then you watch it grow and become your desire in manifestations. Correct? So, guys, type the word manifestation in the chat if you are clear that what is the process of change here. Amazing, amazing. So let's say that you get a chance to list out all the negative things, and just suppose that your negative list was something like this. My life is a mess. I should lose weight. Nobody loves me. I want to move. I hate my job. I should get organized, blah, blah. You can then turn around it into something like this. I am willing to release the pattern in me that created these conditions. I am in the process of positive changes. I have a happy, slender body. I experience love wherever I go. I now create a wonderful new job. I appreciate all that I do. I love and approve of myself. I trust the process of life to bring me my highest good. I deserve the best and I accept it now. So it is miraculous the way a tomato plant grows. It is miraculous the way we can demonstrate our desires. Talking about the holistic philosophy. So in our approach to building the new, we want to use a holistic approach. The holistic philosophy is to nurture and nourish the entire being, the body, the mind, and spirit. Remember these three things: body, the mind, and spirit. If we ignore any of these areas, we are incomplete. We lack wholeness. It doesn't matter where we start as long as we also include the other areas. If we begin with the body, we would want to work with nutrition to learn relationship between the choice of food and beverages, how they affect the way we feel. We want to make the best choice for our body. There are herbs, vitamins, homeopathy, batch flower remedies. We might explore colonics. Similarly, if we might want to explore some form of body work such as rolfing, massage, foot reflexology, acupuncture, chiropractic, which are all beneficial. But and then when it comes with the mind, we could explore visualization techniques, guided imaginary, and affirmations. There are lots of psychological techniques, gestalt, hypnosis, rebirthing, psychodrama, past life regressions, art therapy, and even dream work. Then, when it comes to a spiritual realm, there is a prayer, there is meditation, becoming connected with your higher source. For me, practicing forgiveness and unconditional love are spiritual practices. There are many spiritual groups. In addition to the Christian churches, there are metaphysical churches such as religious, science, and unity. The author further says that there is self realization, fellowship, Siddha foundations, and so on. I want you to know that there are many, many avenues you can explore. If one way doesn't work for you, try another. All these suggestions have proved to be beneficial. I cannot say which one is right for you. That is something you will have to discover for yourself. No one method or one person or one group has all the answers for everyone. I don't have all the answers for everyone. I am just one more stepping stone on the pathway to holistic health. Sharing my screen. In the infinity of life where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. My life is ever new. Each moment of my life is new and fresh and vital. I use my affirmative thinking to create exactly what I want. This is a new day. I am a new me. I think differently, I speak differently, I act differently. Others treat me differently. My new world is a reflection of my new thinking. It is a joy and a delight to plant new seeds. For I know these seeds will become my new experiences. All is well in my world. So now that you know how to change and how to build the new things, the next thing that comes is daily work. That is enjoying practicing the new mental skill. If a child gave up when they failed for the first time, they would never learn to walk. Like any other new thing you are learning, it takes practice to make it part of your life. First, there is a lot of concentration, and some of us chose to make this hard work. I don't like to think of it as hard work, but rather as something new to learn. The process of learning is always the same, no matter what the subject. Whether you are learning to drive a car, or type, or play tennis, think in a positive manner. First, we fumble and bumble as our subconscious mind learns by trial, and yet every time we come back to our practicing. It gets easier and we do it a little better. Of course, you won't be perfect the first day. You will be doing whatever you can do, and that's good enough for the start. So say to yourself often, I am doing the best I can. Always support yourself. So another example that Louise shares is that when she had the lecture on a stage for the first time, when this lecture got over, she came the backstage and talked to herself, saying that Louise, you were wonderful. You were absolutely fantastic for the first time. When you have done 5 or 6 of this, you will be pro. That's the exact words that she said to herself. And then she also mentioned that after fifth or sixth time, she was already a pro. And each time her performance improved. Now imagine if she would have said that after the first lecture, she would have said that you were really terrible and you didn't give your best. What do you think would have happened? The second lecture would have been worse. Correct? So there is a law that works around us. There is also a new computer that she bought and she called her Magic Lady. And she was getting frustrated to work on her because it was all new and technical stuff for her. But then she learned that if you follow a process and follow the laws, then it will give you amazing results like a magic. So it is the same with the work you are learning to do now. You must learn the spiritual laws and follow them to the letter. You cannot bend them to your old way of thinking. You must learn and follow the new language. And when you do, then magic will be demonstrated in your life. Learning is always good to reinforce. So the more ways you can reinforce your new learning, the better. Here are few ways that she suggests: expressing gratitude, writing affirmations, sitting in meditation, enjoying exercise, practicing good nutrition. 6. Doing affirmations aloud. 7. Singing affirmations. Singing affirmations. 8 is taking time for relaxation exercise. 9. Using visualization and mental imagery. And last 10th is reading and studying. When it comes to daily work, this is how a day looks like for Louis. So she says that my first thoughts on awakening before I open my eyes are to be thankful for everything I can think of. After a shower, I take half an hour or so to meditate and do my affirmations and prayers. Then after about 15 minutes of exercise, usually on the trampoline, I will sometimes work out with the 6 a.m. aerobic program on television. Now I am ready for breakfast consisting of fruits and fruit juices and herbal tea. I thank Earth Mother for providing this food to me, and I thank the food for giving its life to nourish me. Before lunch, I like to go to a mirror and do some affirmations out loud. I may even sing them. Something like, Louis, you are wonderful and I love you. This is one of the best days of your life. Everything is working out for your highest good. Whatever you need to know is revealed to you. Whatever you need comes to you. All is well. Lunch is often a large salad. Again, the food is blessed and thanked. In the late afternoon, I spend few minutes on my slant board, allowing my body to experience some deep relaxation. I may listen to a tape at this time. So, at the end, she says, it just sounds overwhelming, doesn't it? To begin with, it seems like a lot to cope with, but after a short period of time, your new way of thinking will become as much a part of your life as bathing or brushing your teeth. You will do it automatically and easily. It would be wonderful for a family in the morning to do some of these things together. Meditating together in the morning to start the day or just before dinner brings peace and harmony to all. If you think you don't have the time, you might get up half an hour earlier. The benefits would be well worth the effort. So, my question is, how do you begin your day? What is the first thing you say in the morning when you wake up? So, we all have something we say almost every day. Is it positive or negative? Is what matters. The author remembers that when she used to awaken in the morning and say with a groan, "Oh God, another day." And that is exactly the sort of day I would have, one thing after another going wrong. Now, when I awaken and before I even open my eyes, I thank the bed for a good night's sleep. After all, we have after all, we have spent the whole night together in comfort. Then, with the eyes still closed, I spend about 10 minutes just being thankful for all the good in my life. I program my day a bit, affirming that everything will go well and that I will enjoy it all. This is before I get up and do my morning meditation or prayers. So, please, from tomorrow onwards, be very conscious about what is the first thing you say to yourself when you get up. Talking about meditation, there are many ways, multiple ways that we meditate. So there are many classes and books that one can explore to find ways to meditate. No matter how or where you begin, you will eventually create the method which is best for you. The author usually just sit quietly and ask, what is it that I need to know? I allow the answer to come if it wants to. If not, I know it will come later. There is no right or wrong way to meditate. I personally have done Vipassana course, so I make sure that I just practice that in the morning whenever I plan to meditate. So maybe it's something different for you, but As far as you are able to take out a good 15-20 minutes in the morning, that will help you a lot. So daily meditation has helped her enormously. Here, when the author talks about one of her client, that the client was very bright and intelligent, her mind was also unusually clever and quick, and she had a great sense of humor. Yet she could not get her act together. She was overweight, broke, frustrated in her career, and without romance for many years. She could accept all the metaphysical concepts very quickly. They made a lot of sense to her, yet she was too clever too quick. She found it difficult to slow herself down, to practice over a meaningful period of time the ideas she could grasp so quickly on a moment by moment basis. So, daily meditation came to her rescue, and she began with only 5 minutes a day and gradually worked for 15 to 20 minutes. One of the exercises that the author suggests here is take one or two affirmations and write them 10 or 20 times a day. Read them aloud with enthusiasm. Make a song out of your affirmations and sing them with joy. Let your mind go over these affirmations all day long. Affirmations that are used consistently becomes belief and will always produce results, sometimes in ways that we cannot even imagine. One very interesting incident that happened with Louise is that she was shifting from New York to California, and her last landlord in New York City was a man who was known to be extremely difficult, and all the tenants complained. But in the 5 years that she lived there, she only saw him 3 times. But when she decided to move to California, she also wanted to sell all her furniture and possessions and start a new life completely. And so she was worried that, how will she be able to do that? And she began to do affirmations such as, all my possessions are sold easily and quickly. The move is very simple to do. Everything is working in divine right order. All is well. I did not think about how difficult it would be to sell things or where I would sleep the last few nights or any other negative ideas. I just kept doing my affirmations. Well, my client and students quickly bought all the little stuff and most of the books. I informed my landlord in a letter that I would not be renewing my lease, and to my surprise, I received a phone call from him expressing his dismay at my leaving. He offered to write a letter of recommendation to the new landlord in California as well, and asked if he could please buy the furniture that she has, as he had decided to rent the apartment furnished. My higher consciousness has put the two beliefs together in a way I could not have conceived of. I always have good relationships with my landlord, and everything will sell easily and quickly, to the other tenants' amazement. I was able to sleep in my own bed in a comfortable furnished apartment until the last moment and be paid for it. I walked out with a few clothes, my juicer and blender, my hair dryer, and my typewriter, plus a large check, and I leisurely took the train to Los Angeles. Upon arriving in California, it was necessary for me to buy a car. Not having owned a car before, nor having made a major purchase before, I did not have the established credit. The bank would not give me credit. Being a woman and a self-employed did not help my case any. I did not want to spend all my savings to buy a new car. Establishing credit became a catch-22. So I refused to have any negative thoughts about the situation or about the banks. I rented a car and kept affirming that I have a beautiful new car and it comes to me easily. I also told everybody I met that I wanted to buy a new car and had not been able to establish credit so far. In about 3 months' time, I met a businesswoman who instantly liked me. When I told her my story about the car, she said, "Oh, well, I will take care of that." She called a friend at the bank who owed her a favor and told her that I was an old friend and gave me the highest references. Within 3 days, I drove a car dealer's lot and with a beautiful new car. I was not excited so much as I was in awe of the process. I believe the reason it took me 3 months to manifest the car was that I had never committed myself to monthly payments before, and the little kid in me was scared and needed time to get up the courage to make the step. So while doing exercising, she says that I assume you are already saying I approve of myself almost non-stop. This is a powerful foundation. Keep it up for at least a month. Now take a pad and a paper at the top and at the top right. I love myself, therefore dash. Finish this sentence in as many ways as you can. Read it over daily and add to it as you think of new things. I love myself, therefore dash. If you can work with a partner, do so. Hold hands and alternate saying, I love myself, therefore dash. The biggest benefit of doing this exercise is that you learn it is almost impossible to belittle yourself when you say you love yourself. Now it's time to claim the new. Visualize or imagine yourself having or doing or being what you are working towards. Fill in all the details. Feel, see, how do you feel, how do you see it, how it tastes, touch, hear, everything. Notice other people's reaction to your new state. Make it all okay with you no matter what the reactions are. This exercise is called expand your knowledge. Read everything you can to expand your awareness and understanding of how the mind works. There is so much knowledge out there for you. This book is only one step on the pathway. Get other viewpoints, hear other people say it in a different way. Study with a group of for a while until you go beyond. This is the life work. The more you learn, the more you know, the more you practice and apply, the better you get to feel. And the more wonderful your life will be. Doing this work makes you feel good. Begin to demonstrate the results. By practicing as many of these methods as you can, you will begin to demonstrate your results of this work. You will see the little miracles in your life. The things are ready to eliminate will go of their own accord. The things and events you want will pop up in your life seemingly out of the blue. You will get bonuses you never imagined. I was so surprised and delighted when, after a few months of doing mental work, I began to look younger. Today, I look 10 years younger than I did 10 years ago. Love who and what you are and what you do. I will repeat this. It says, love who and what you are and what you do. Laugh at yourself and at life, and nothing can touch you. It's all temporary anyway. Next lifetime, we will do it differently anyway. So why not do it differently right now? You could read one of the Norman Cousin's books. He cured himself of a fatal disease with laughter. There are so many ways you can approach your healing. Try them all, and then you use the ones that appeal to you the most. Please do not listen to the news or watch it on TV the last thing at night. The news is only a list of disaster, and you don't want to take into your dream state. It's a very interesting thing that the author talks about the dream state and why is it important. The few minutes before you sleep are important. So much clearing work is done in the dream state, and you can ask your dreams for help with anything you are working on. You will often find an answer by morning. Go to sleep peacefully. Trust the process of life to be on your side and take care of everything for your highest good and greatest joy. There is no need to make drudgery out of what you are doing. It can be fun, it can be a game, it can be a joy. It's up to you. Even practicing forgiveness and releasing resentment can be fun if you want to make it so. Again, make up a little song about the person or situation that is so hard to release. When you sing a ditty, it lightens up the whole procedure. When I work with clients privately, I bring laughter into the procedure as soon as I can. The quicker we can laugh about the whole thing, the easier it is to let it go. This is a very interesting tip that she has shared here. Uh, that how laughter, which seems so natural and but people don't use it. She actually used it with her clients to help them release of something that they were holding on. So if you saw your problems on a stage in a play by Neil Simon, you would laugh yourself right out of the chair. Tragedy and comedy are the same thing. It just depends on your viewpoint. Oh, what fools we mortals be. Do whatever you can to make your transformational change a joy and a pleasure. Most importantly, have fun. I'm sharing my screen. In the infinity of life where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. I support myself, and life supports me. I see evidence of the law working all around me and in every area of my life. I reinforce that which I learn in joyous ways. My days begins with gratitude and joy. I look forward with enthusiasm to the adventures of the day, knowing that in my life all is good. I love who I am and all that I do. I am the living, loving, joyous expression of life. All is well in my world. So with this, we come to the end of the all the three chapters, and I would also want to share with you the video recordings, the YouTube link of previous two sessions, in case you have missed it or you would definitely want to repeat, revise. I am putting it in the chat. This is kind of a bonus for bearing with me and uh, staying on this session. So, guys, any questions that you have, any point that you want me to repeat or talk about more, feel free to ask. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for the lovely session. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. It was great to have you all here today, and please stay active in the group as well. We will keep you updated with the next steps. I believe we don't have any questions, and I can just stop the recording. Thank you so much.